Hi. Uh, I don't know how this is gonna go. I didn't really write a script for this or anything of the sort. I just felt like for the occasion I should just say a few words of my own. So, for those who don't know who I am, in case anyone sees this at all, my name's Slooney. I am an Avali, obviously. Been an Avali for the past 5 years, and I was also an active member and host for the Avali Army Discord server. That's the server that ended over a year ago. Exactly a year ago, today is when everything started to go wrong. So I just want to talk a little bit about what the Avali Army meant for me, and a little bit about my feelings as well. I don't want to focus on the drama that happened or anything of the sort on this video. I want to talk about me, I guess, my feelings. So, where do I begin? I'm a very lonely person. I've never had many friends, and I really struggle with both making and keeping friends. I'm prone to self-isolating a whole bunch. I struggle with mental illness. When I was a kid, I didn't have a single person that I could count on. I was always the favorite victim of school, like the bullies really liked me, I guess. And I always kept waiting for someone who would protect me, and that someone never existed. I went through all of my school years without having a single friend. Wasn't much different outside of school. I learned to be a very introspective and introverted person. And, of course, living like that, I've developed a bunch of mental illnesses on top of the physical illnesses that I also struggled with. I was diagnosed with depression at age 12, and it's always been a really bad case of depression. I have struggled with suicide ideation for over 2 decades now, and I'm always on and off with antidepressants. I've taken a bunch of different ones. Currently, I am a little low on my meds. It's rough. It was never easy for me. And throughout all of that chaotic social life or lack thereof, I came across the furry community. The only time I ever made friends was through the furry fandom, internet friends. But even then, I didn't have that many friends either. A lot of people didn't really vibe with me. And I tend to get really attached, and it doesn't help to have a borderline personality that ends up pushing people away from time to time. especially the ones you care about the most. So back in 2020, I had already been a part of the furry community for 12 years. My persona used to be an Arctic fox, and I already knew of the Avali. I had a friend all the way back in 2013 who he was creating his own Avali, and he asked me for help with it, and I helped him out with his creation and stuff, but I didn't understand at the time that it was an original species because he was doing that for a game that all of you probably know about called Starbound, right? And I had never played the game, so I basically ignored the species for many years. Until 2019 when I met another Avali. Yeah, we're rare as fuck. And this other Avali friend told me that, hey, no, this is an original thing. It's not related to Starbound. In 2020, I was feeling very lonely, with the whole pandemic thing. I had only one friend that would contact me on a semi-daily basis, and I felt very disconnected from everyone, very alone. I've always felt alone my whole life, but some times of my life, it was worse. And watching a bunch of people, at the time playing VR chat, like in streams, YouTube and stuff, it was like, hey, I could give that a shot, maybe I'm gonna make some friends there. Started playing this game, did not expect to become an Avali, but I fell in love with an Avali avatar. The first one that I saw at the time was a 1.3. After that, I became a reverse Avali. And later, after I was already a part of the Avali army community, I became a Diwali. My first month of VR chat back in 2020, it was also very lonesome. What I would do is I would just go to public fur hub, being my socially awkward self. Didn't make many friends, but I met one person on my journeys at fur hub. Like we were both quiet. We did not interact at all, fun fact. But that person has since then became a really close friend. And he, just before he left that day, he threw me a friend request out of nowhere. And I decided to accept it. It was like I had never met another Avali before in VR chat. Many days later, that friend joins on me, not knowing who I am. By the way, he did not remember he had added me or how he added me. And then we start talking. He tells me about the Avali Army community meetups that were happening. He starts taking me to those, and yeah, after 12 years, I changed my Sona. When I first started to wear the avatars in VR chat, I wasn't really thinking about changing my Sona, because my Sona had been with me for 12 years, and like, there were a lot of design modifications, but it was still me, in a way. But the way I felt with that community that I had just joined, it just changed everything. For the first time in my life, I felt like I was fitting in. I didn't feel like a stranger, an outcast. Every day I would hop on, since everybody was chronicling online, like pandemic days and stuff. Like everybody was chronically online. Then you would just wake up, play VR chat, and then go to bed. That was my daily life for maybe 10 months. And since I was an introspective idiot, I never really stepped foot out of home throughout the whole pandemic thing. But the connections that I made in the community, the connections that I made playing this game, It just, it stayed with me. It started to feel like home. Through Avali Army, I met some really amazing people that touched me in ways that I had never been touched before by anyone. I laughed, I cried, I had fun, I had bad times and got stressed. I felt alone. I felt not alone. I fell in love. I got my heart broken. Good and bad things happened, but the memories, they've always been with me. Of all the people that I met, there were a lot of fights that happened as well. It wasn't just all good. I've lost people that I deeply cared about in those fights. People that I loved so much that I still think about them to this day, honestly. Never leave my mind, really. And also people that stayed with me, people that are still my friends to this day. And it just felt like home, you know? More than home, it felt like a family. There's a quote that I really love from this old movie, this old Disney movie, Lilo and Stitch. Not the bad live action one. No, I'm talking about the OG, the 2000s Lilo and Stitch. They used to say this quote very often throughout the movie, and I think the whole franchise actually. They would often say, Ohana. Ohana, it means family. And family means never abandon nor forget. And I've lived by this, I guess. This quote it really resonates with me. And that's how I've always felt with the Avali Army community, right? Even when it was bad, it was still my family. It was through the Avali Army that I met so many amazing people that really changed my life. In fact, I wouldn't be here making this video right now, talking to myself like a weirdo, if it wasn't for one of my friends that I wouldn't have met without the community. He's the one who gave me the VR headset. You know, one of the, no, not one of the nicest things anyone has ever done for me. Didn't ask anything in return, you know. Just knew I was struggling and he hoped that he could make a change in my life by giving me something that I had been wanting for 2 years at the time. It's even hard to come up with words to express how I feel with everything. You know, throughout that year of 2022, I've met people that really make me redefine the concept of loving someone in my life. And that was also the year that EAC came out on VR chat, and the Exodus happened and all of that. After EAC, I started to feel very alone. Wasn't playing VR chat anymore, and not a lot of my friends seemed to be missing me either. So I decided to make an alt account. And I think this is the first time that I'm actually going to publicly say this, but I made another character that went by the name of Rain, and I started attending the Avali army meets in secrecy. I had no ill intentions. Usually when people think that, oh, this and this has an alt account, they think that they're up to no good. But my motives, I just needed to be there, not being recognized, and just wait to see if anybody missed me. I was just looking to catch wind of someone talking about me. I told this story to a friend just like 3 days ago, and he was like, "Oh, you mean you were like wanting to see if anyone would talk shit?" And I'm like, "No, this is not why I did that." Although, yeah, that would have hurt as hell. But I really just wanted to see if anybody missed me, if people talked about me. Because, I always thought that a true friend is someone who talks nice about you on your back, If they care about you, they're eventually gonna bring you up, right? But the thing is, I got recognized by many people. At the time, I got super nervous and I felt like it's over, people are gonna hate me now. They're not gonna understand why I did this. They're gonna be angry that I didn't tell them. But at the end of the day, it ended up being the exact opposite. Some people did get angry, but things worked out in the end. I was in a very bad place mentally, and there was a Christmas meet, and I went to that Christmas meet as Rain. The host, they recognized me, didn't say anything, but they realized that I was not doing okay, and there was this one point that they came to me and we were alone in a room. There was nobody around us, and they looked me in the eyes and they said, "You had really pretty eyes. It reminds me of my friend, Looney. I haven't really seen her in a very long time, but I do really hope that she's okay and I really miss her." And those words, they made me cry, And it's what made me realize that I wanted to come back as myself again. I was scared shitless to do that, but I did it. This same person was also the one who helped me come out as a transgender girl. I was always scared of doing that. In fact, I'm even still scared of transitioning in real life as I speak. But, she helped me figure out a bunch of things about myself. Some things that I already knew, but was just in denial, if you will. It was thanks to this community. Now we fast forward to 2025. I am an artist. I'm not a particularly good one, but I'm going to art school. And guess what? That's also thanks to this community. I met a few people who helped me learn how to draw, something that I always wanted to do, but I always felt like I couldn't do. People that motivated me, they kept cheering me on. And I don't particularly like my art these days, but I can say that I've improved a lot to consider myself an artist. And I'm even considering pursuing that as a career if I can, you know. That would not have happened without this community. When I took over as a host for the Avali army, right? I had always said that I would not want to be a host because it was too much work and etc. But when you love a community so much and you see that it's struggling, you just want to do whatever you can to help, right? At the time that I picked up as a host, a bunch of other hosts had just left. There had been a lot of drama going around, and we were losing numbers at the meetups. My first meet had like 7 people, give or take. Made it my mission to make the Avali Army meets a better place. Again, a place where people could feel safe, welcomed, comfortable, home. I don't know if I achieved that or not. I didn't have a lot of time to do that. It was only a couple of months, and then it was over. I know some people are probably thinking that, oh, this person is full of shit. They're standing here and being like, oh, look at me. Look how perfect I am, blah, blah. That's not my intention. I recognize I am very flawed. And you see, the Avali army itself was very flawed too. It was a very flawed place. Especially when it came to its upper management, right? As we all came to find out. But despite all of the flaws, it was still a family. And it wasn't because of management. It was because of us. The people. Its members. We'd pick each other up. We'd care about each other. We'd take care of each other. Both in good and bad times. This is also the reason why I've been attending some of Avalikin's meets. Avalikin is another server that grew parallel to Avali Army during its last year. But with Avalikin, I don't really feel like I fit in. I always feel like I am an outsider there. I have not joined the group, I have not joined the server for them. Because you see, I was one of their bigger critics. Because a lot of the meetups that they would hold, they would collide with my own, you know. And I used to think, oh hey, they're trying to steal the community, you know, they're trying to rip the community apart. Even though I know things are not that simple. A lot of people in there are my friends. Even some people at staff are my close friends. People that I'd do anything for. But I don't feel like it's right for me to be a part of there after everything. It's also a flawed place, don't get me wrong. But like I said, I've come to realize that it's not the place, it's the people. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you and tell you that I care about every single stranger in the Avali community that I don't know. It's not what I'm talking about, that's not what I mean. But I do care about every person that ever considered myself a friend of theirs. Even the ones who left. Even the ones that probably hate me now. Even the ones that broke my heart. I consider everyone that had a meaning in my life my family. You are my family. Well, unless you're a stranger watching this video, then I'm sorry. But I want to be very honest here. I love these people. And you know exactly who you are. I don't need to say names. I don't even know if they would like me to say their names. Better not say any names here. The people who are still close friends with me, the people that left me, you all know who you are. And for all those people that changed my life, or that left a mark on my life, rather, I just want to say that I really love you. All of you. And I don't even have the words to describe how much I love you guys. I can even start to describe how much you mean to me, how you're everything to me. I just wanted you to know that. All of you. You mean the world to me. And ever since everything happened, I've been in a really dark place mentally. Follow me on Twitter or on my Telegram channel or whatever, you probably know this. I do know that other people look at my Vince and they just go like, oh yeah, this is just an idiot trying to gain attention or whatever. But I know what I'm feeling, right? No one else does but me. But people don't listen. And just as it's been 1 year, I heard of another fight going on in the Avali community. You know, I am really tired of fighting. I am really tired. I'm really tired of arguing. I'm really tired of just disagreement. I'm really tired of the I am going to leave and never come back. I'm really tired of the we don't ever want to see your face again. I am really tired of losing people. I'm really tired of people not understanding what it means to be a family. So if there's anything that I want you to take from this is maybe you should try speaking a little less and start listening a little more. Because God knows some of us could really use someone who listens. Well, I guess that's all that I wanted to say. I've also made a little thing in honor of Avali Army. I'm not much of a photographer. I don't take really many pictures in VR chat, but I found some of my old pictures from 2020 all the way back to 2024, and I decided to make a video with it. And I put a song on that video that hopefully YouTube's not gonna censor, right? Please, this is not monetized. I am not a YouTuber, please, don't. That song is Dear My Friend from Sonic Unleashed, and I really feel that like the lyrics of that song really resonate with all that I've been trying to say. God, it's gonna be a long video, I'm so sorry. Well, like I said, there weren't a lot of pictures. I even had to borrow a few pictures from a few friends. So, of course, there's way more people than the ones that you're gonna see in the pictures. But don't worry, if you're not in any of that pictures, it doesn't make you less of a part of that home, you know. Home, after all, is where the heart is, right? Well, I'm gonna leave you guys with the video now. Thanks for listening to this idiot for God knows how long, what, 40 minutes, I don't even know. I'm not really gonna do more videos or any of those things, so you don't have to worry about the whole YouTube thing. The only thing that I ask is that if you know anyone who was part of the Avali Army community, maybe show this to them, I guess. I don't know. And don't forget, guys, Ohana. Bye.
Good times and bad times, I can count on being with you. I thank you for staying so true. My life will go on a long time, have to catch up when I see you. And you are my reason I can make it through. I will give my word that I will come in time to rescue. My heart will always be with you. I'm so glad I met you, being with me wherever, made for each other forever. I know life can be tough on you, time and time again. Laughter may be gone away. I will wipe away my tears tomorrow. But life must go on, not so easy. Let you travel away. I will be there if you need me, and I know you'll do the same. I can see you, I can hear you in my heart. You will be here if I need you. I will never have to guess, 'cause we are very special friends. So send me a letter, let me know how you're doing. You are my lifetime and true friend. Will never be forgotten. Having trust is all we may need. You are always with me in the life I lead. So far, far away from life I used to know. Worries are too far to. I will stop and close my eyes. Remember, and of the rainbow your soul. I will answer when you call me. I will come no matter how, 'cause we are very special friends.
But Looney, do you really want to see that?
Oh, that's why it looks different.
Because there was not on
No.
this.
It seemed like there was something missing.
Because
I'd rather
you double you just don't trust me about there was just the scarves, that, the visor, and the eggs on this avatar. They have just that.
The last one.
He's trying to get that surround sound, you know?
That's exactly it.
Oh,
Yeah,
well, let's do that.
Hey,
that's that Dolby Vision.
where you going is lewd.
I can tell.
It sounds pretty nice.
You can tell.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Last time we met, he actually choked me. I have a screenshot, by the way.
Oh? Oh?
Okay. Okay.
What was it?
I heard choke me.
What is happening here?